Well, first of all, we want to continue to attract the best and brightest students from the state of Mississippi and around the country. Secondly, we want to make sure that law school is affordable for those students, and so we are working to not only provide merit but also need-based scholarships. And then after our students graduate, we want to assist them with learning how to practice law through a small law firm setting that we will establish. Hopefully as well, the students will have had some clinical training, and that'll be a way for us not only to train our students while they're in law school, but to provide legal services for the low-income citizens of our city. Well, one of the most important challenging legal issues facing the state is how to redo the bidding process that businesses who want to do business with the state go through to try to minimize any potential for corruption. I think it's very important that businesses understand, if you're going to work with the state, that you've got to come in with a reasonable bid, not with a relationship with someone who you think can get you through the process. So I think what the legislature and the governor are doing right now to make the bidding process more transparent and and to be better stewards of the taxpayers' money, I think is very important. Well, there are several developers coming into the city that have expressed interest and even purchased some of the larger office buildings that are down here. So if we can get those buildings up and running, the Landmark, for instance, is one. Some of the buildings that are presently occupied by state offices have potential for mixed use. That seems to be the direction that we need to go in, to come up with some mixed use developments to try to increase the occupancy rate, the residency rate. I think if you can get people to live in downtown Jackson, the businesses will come. So that's the challenge. Can you make this a residential friendly part of town so that it will attract the businesses needed to support the residents? Well, I think we need to start from the beginning. We need to make sure that every pre-K age child has access to some type of preschool education so that they can learn to read before they start their formal education in kindergarten or first grade. I think if you catch children while they're young and while their minds are open to learn, that you will have a much better student coming into school, and that foundation will be laid at an early age. Many parents are not able to, for a variety of reasons, help their children, whether it's they're working or they themselves have problems with literacy. So if we can provide that pre-K education for kids, I think it'll make a big difference. Well, let me say two things about that. One, in our business, which is providing legal education, the American Bar Association has actually relaxed some of its standards to give us a little more latitude in the innovation in our legal education programs in response to the current market conditions with law applicants decreasing. So for us, I wouldn't necessarily say we've been deregulated, but we're not as regulated in response to that. But in the larger business community, I would say that the important thing is to protect the consumer. And so if businesses can operate with limited regulation, that's fine, as long as the consumer is protected, the homeowner, the home buyer, the person doing business with larger companies. Protect the consumer, and I think that's the starting point. From there, the regulations can flow.